There it is. Hello, everyone. We are live. I have confirmation of that. I'm Dr. Nick Alenov, and welcome to the Dr. Alenov's Daily Health Report, number 4. I so far have not been able to do it daily, so I think I started this about a week ago, but 4 out of 7 days, not so bad, I don't think. And already getting some great feedback, especially from my lovely wife, Jessica, who reminded me that I talk too much. So I'm going to, I think I've come up with a solution to that. If you look at the Daily Health Report 1 and 2, you'll notice how I outline my idea of how I wanted to go through different sections. And now I'm realizing, as I'm sure there are some of you that will like section 1, which is more of the nutritional review, or like in report number 3, where I reviewed a article about vitamin D and improving immunity. And so section 1 will always be something nutritional, just really important data that you can use right now in the moment. And then section 2 is going to be the anatomy of consciousness. And so that is going to be how we need to understand the way we use our consciousness. And I know if you haven't listened to any of those parts of the report yet, that might sound a little interesting, but it's about learning to evolve ourselves in this rapidly changing world that is stressing people out in many, many different ways. And then to follow that up, part 3, I've really thought this through. There's many ways we can remove and reduce our stresses. And I've come to the conclusion the best way to do this is not going to be a quick, 2-3 minutes sort of just kind of, hey, let's meditate and think and move our eyes for a few minutes. I'm committed to really helping you to really make a difference. In order to do that, you have to do the techniques that work. And that involves deep breathing exercises done correctly, and also eye motion done correctly. So this is going to be something we're going to learn together over the next coming weeks. It's not something that's going to be just 2 minutes, boom, boom. So for this reason, I've come to realize the best thing I can do is to actually cut up my daily health reports into 3 sections. Maybe every day I don't have time for each section, but we're going to give that a try, see how it is, how it goes. I've already created my possible thumbnails, so let me share the screen with you. So if you are on my YouTube channel, or which I will be doing very soon, if you are here we go. If you are on my Facebook page, Dr. Alenov is my Facebook page. And if you have asked to join my private community there. So within my Facebook page, Dr. Alenov is the Mighty Immunity Community. And I'm ready to open the doors to that. I know there are several of you waiting to get in. I wanted to make sure there was a structure to it and some value to being there. And I think the value is going to be my posts. So I'm going to put the posts into groups. So it's going to be much easier if you just want to go and look at all of the stress release therapy sessions that I've done online. You can look at all of those. If you want to look at just the anatomy of consciousness classes, you can look at those. If you want to review the nutritional things I've reviewed, you can look at those as well. So here, of course, for report 1, 2, and 3 kind of looks like this. So this is going to be my thumbnail of choice for when I'm doing nutritional. And then here, part 2 is going to be the anatomy of consciousness. And it'll of course say the report number and then the part. So if there are multiple parts, you can say, oh, hey, I listened to part 2 of 3. What's going on with part 3 of 3 or 1 of 3 for the day? And then lastly, the daily stress release with me using guided breath and eye movement. And so I'm hoping to shoot that part tonight. So this, of course, is my 4th report. And you're listening to part 1 of that. So let's get right to it. What we're going to be reviewing today, because what I'm trying to do since I just started this last week is, of course, get to the real stress that people are is on everyone's mind, which is the immune system, how to stay healthy this winter, how to recover. If you are dealing with any chronic stress, immune-related issues, what can you do about that? So listen to the previous reports. We've already gone through some great stuff about multi-nutrient formulas, zinc in particular, specifically how to use it, what types to use. And so I'm going in order really of the products that I've used for years for myself, for my family, for my patients. And so the absolute incredible product, it comes from Insight Nutrition, which is my nutritional company, as a disclaimer there. And that is also where you can get Cell Energy Complete. I've already spoken about that. And the reason why we have to review this next product is because it is next in line for any time that you are dealing with, excuse me, I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to get this, there we go, shared screen. But when you're dealing with immune stress, especially now in the winter, dealing with viral issues, upper respiratory issues, the number one thing is to make sure you have a balanced multi-nutrient formula. We talked about that in Cell Energy Complete. And then here we go, the share is on its way. And then we spoke about zinc and vitamin D. So in the following episodes, and how it is important to add more vitamin D versus just the amount you're going to get from Cell Energy Complete. You can get some in here, but this is just a small, what I would call a base level, and then of 2,500 IUs. And then after you've balanced your zinc intake, which almost everyone is deficient in nowadays because it's a mineral, it's hard to absorb. And once you've increased your vitamin D and possibly even tested your blood, the next question is, how healthy is your gut biome? And I'm going to read this directly for you. I'm going to zoom in here so that you can really comprehend why this is that I'm discussing this today. So Biome Builder, which is, comes in a jar here, 30 servings, and it's a scoop, it's a powder. Biome Builder is a complete GI, so gastrointestinal formula that supports stomach, small intestine, and colon health. So the entire digestive process, while building a healthy microbiome. In other words, it helps to feed and balance the good bacteria while helping to gently get rid of the bad bacteria, fungus, viruses, and parasites. Because approximately 80% of your immune system is in your gut. This is not new information. We've known this for decades. And anybody who studies immunity knows that gut health is number one in immunity. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share there. Just wanted to show you on the site, if you're looking at Insight Nutrition, this is where you find this. Or if you're at alenov.com, just go ahead and click on the nutritional store, and there you can see all the different links to the nutritional products I recommend. Of course, this is one from my store. And the reason why I have Insight Nutrition, the reason why there's only 6 products in Insight Nutrition is because I'm not trying to recreate everything. I'm not selling fish oil. I'm not selling digestive enzymes or those things, because there's plenty of great companies out there that do that. But I have very specific formulas that are second to none that I think really fit the needs of many people. So what we're going to shoot up here right now is the label for Biome Builder. I get more than almost any other product that we sell. I get the most questions about Biome Builder. So we're going to go through this, and I'm going to answer today what it is, why it's so important, how it helps so many people, and the ingredients, what each one of those is doing, and why this, you'll see if you understand gut health, why this formula is so incredible, why it can be used by so many people. So it does many things, but of course that's because the gut and your digestive system does many things. Now, the most important thing to understand about Biome Builder right off the start is that it is not a probiotic. In other words, it supports the gut by offering prebiotics. So it's Micro-Biome Builder, meaning it helps with the microbiome, supporting GI health. And as it says right here, it does this by offering prebiotic fibers to feed and promote good bacteria and the healthy microbiome. So where many products are either just trying to kill the bad bacteria, right, and then just hoping the good ones get by, or just taking good bacteria, usually in freeze-dried form of a probiotic, which I'm not always a big fan of doing because it can cause some imbalances as well. What this product does more than anything is it feeds prebiotic fibers to your healthy bacteria. Prebiotic fibers are those fibers in nature that our body cannot digest or eat. In other words, they do nothing for us in terms of energy. But these fibers are the chosen foods of our microbiome. Those good bacteria love to eat these fibers. This is their incredible food source. So aside from the prebiotic fibers, it has a great anti-inflammatory effect, which is very important, especially when we're dealing with modern lifestyle related inflammatory issues. And it also has gentle detoxification, because our gut is one of our biggest detoxification areas in the body, which I went through on one of my previous reports. And so looking into the ingredients now, let's go through this and really break this down so you can see why this is such a special formula. Again, it's a powder. There's a small scooper in there, and I'll discuss in a second the best way to take this formula. But when you look at this, you'll notice in bold, and this, when you have the bottle, you're like, wow, got to get my glasses. This is very small printed on the bottle. So I've blown this up, but we've broken it down so you understand into prebiotic fiber blend, right? And then the immune system and inflammatory response support. So that's all these things in the second two boxes. And then the last box here is are the ingredients that help with leaky gut. In other words, healing the gut lining and detoxification support. And anytime you're gently improving the ability for the body to detoxify through the gut, that is saving the gut lining so that those toxins are not causing more damage and more leaky gut syndrome. Okay, so let's hit annotate. Let's go to drawing mode here. Okay, excellent. So what we're going to start with right here is the prebiotic fiber blend. And so as you'll see, we have multiple types, the cognac root fiber, and then there's the arabinogalactin fibers, and then we have the inulin fibers, and then another blend of organic digestion resistant fibers. Again, all that means is this is a prebiotic fiber which feeds the good bacteria. Your body cannot digest these fibers, but that's a good thing because those fibers feed the good bacteria. These fibers do not feed bad bacteria, viruses, parasites, yeast, or funguses. Okay, so there's a really, really good amount of this fiber in here. All right. And I'll just say right now, this is why when you're taking this product and you read the directions up here, here's what it says. Drink quickly. Oh, sorry, I'll start right here. So 1 scoop in 4 ounces of liquid, shake or stir very quickly, I would add, and then quickly drink because of normal thickening. So these prebiotic fibers, one thing that they do really well is they suck up water like a dry sponge. You know, those super sponge toys that are really small, put them in water, and then within 30 to 60 seconds, these little sponge toys are now 10 times their size. That is what's happening with these fibers. So if you shake this up in the shaker cup and you take a sip and then you put it down, you come back to it 2 minutes later, you're going to have a cup of gel, right? You're not going to be able to drink it. So you want to drink this quickly because of the normal sponge activity and the thickening. And then once you've done that and you've drank it quickly, then you can follow with 8 ounces of water to help. Again, you want to really, really hydrate when you're taking this product. Now, one of the amazing things about this is that this is why this product is miraculous for constipation and issue with moving the bowels. And most of the time that's because of toxicity as well as dehydration in the colon. So these little sponges suck up the water. They don't let go of the water. They feed the good bacteria in the colon while they are adding water to the colon. And it does it in a good way. And it really naturally helps to move the bowels. So if that's an issue you're having, this is the answer for you. The next thing, of course, is anti-inflammatory effect, because so many people are dealing with inflammatory gut issues. So we've got the natural curcumin from turmeric extracts. And then over here, later on, you'll see we have the ginger as well, which is amazing for the gut. And here's another thing, important thing. So it says this has, of course, a very high quality colostrum. And people say, well, doesn't colostrum come from dairy? And this is true. It comes from organic cows, right? The colostrum extract before the milk comes down. And I can say to you about this is that in all the years that I've worked with people with dairy sensitivity and then using products like this with colostrum, never have I seen anybody have a problem with that, because this doesn't react as dairy. Colostrum that is this high a quality is always healing to the gut and a booster to the immune response. So I'm not saying it's unthinkable that dairy sensitive people could have an issue with this. All I'm saying is I've not ever seen that happen in 18 years in practice. So I'm actually almost 19 now. And so that's just something, of course, I should say. So this is not a vegan product. This contains colostrum, and it's in there because this is so high quality. It helps to heal the gut, and it helps to boost the natural immune response in the gut. So next, we're going to talk about the vitamin C complex, which is so important for immune response. And it has to be these natural fruit extracts, not just the plain ascorbic acid. And then we have the bioflavonoids and the natural amyla and acerola, which of course are these natural superfruit extracts that then give us the whole vitamin C complex. And then from there, again, for removing and reducing inflammation, N-acetylcysteine is so important to reduce inflammation, help the liver. Quercetin, as we talked about before, which boosts immune response and helps zinc to absorb into the gut lining. And then we have other bioflavonoids. And now, again, clear this, vitamin D. So now remember, this is in micrograms. So 50 micrograms of vitamin D3 is 1,000 IUs of vitamin D. And of course, I'll get the question, okay, if I'm taking Cell Energy Complete, which is 2,500 IUs, and now I take a serving of this Biome Builder, I'm getting another 1,000. So now I'm at 3,500 IUs of D3 a day. And again, for 95 to 98% of people taking this level of D, this is just a normal, average, low level of vitamin D for supplementation throughout the year. And I take much, much more than that. I do, however, twice a year test my blood levels. So I can just make sure there's no irregularities, and I know that my body is processing that vitamin D correctly. All right, moving along, we have the medicinal mushroom extracts, which are so important when it comes to the immune response. And these are, if you look through the ingredients here, these are the top level mushroom extracts, very, very easy to digest. And the reason is because many mushroom extracts are not easy to digest. The reason is over here, we add the humic and fulvic acid in the lignite form, which are micronutrient transporters, and it helps with transporting these micronutrients into the body, as well as minerals, as well as detoxification. The beta-glucan is another, I won't get into the specifics of that, but it's another natural extract which helps with boosting immune response. Selenium, well known to improve immunity. And here's another important thing, zinc carnosine complex. Now I'm going to talk about this really quick because essentially people will see this, they'll think, oh, zinc for my immunity. But it, believe it or not, because it's in the carnosine form, and this is not ionized for a purpose, because zinc carnosine, now there are stacks of research showing and proving what I'm about to say here, which is that this form of zinc is particularly important for the regeneration of the stomach mucal lining. To break that down into plain English, it has been shown to help reverse things like ulcers in the stomach, and it also can help with improving the amount of mucus lining in the stomach, which is the healthy lining that helps the stomach to improve digestion and reduce things like heartburn and acid reflux and other issues. So this is a specific type of zinc that's not just for general use and for the immune response. And so people look at that, they say, oh, 45 milligrams, that's too much. Whenever I take over 15 or 30 milligrams, I end up with a stomach ache or a problem with that. This will not do that because it is specifically designed for healing in the stomach. So it shouldn't be considered as a regular zinc supplement. So if you're taking these two together, your Cell Energy Complete and the Biome Builder, again, these are the two most commonly purchased products from Insight Nutrition for the reason that they work well together. They go hand in hand, one boosting energy, helping with immunity. The other one, Biome Builder, is essential for anybody with gut health issues or long-term immune issues that could be related to gut health in any way, which is, I have to say, at least 80% of the people I work with have gut health issues, and that is why they have immune stress. So if you're taking these both, you're getting one form of zinc and Cell Energy Complete, which is for immune response and body health and the other hundreds of things that zinc does in all of the body. But when you take Biome Builder, you're getting the zinc carnosine. This is specifically for stomach health. And so the two work well together. All right. So again, I'm trying to answer all the questions I've ever gotten about this product. Moving on to the third category is leaky gut and detox support right here. And these ingredients here are just for that particularly. So we have the glutathione, which is a very high quality glutathione, very well known to help with liver processes. And then the L-glutamine, that's very different than glutathione, is an amino acid known to help with supporting the small intestine, because the microvilli cells in the small intestine use L-glutamine as their energy source to regenerate and heal. So when you have leaky gut and the cells are damaged, L-glutamine helps to pull that back together. And then the humic and fulvic acids, which we've talked about before, because the humic acids help to heal the intestines and heal the small intestines' ability to tighten up the tight junctions, help with nutrient absorption into the bloodstream. Then the fulvic acid molecules, which are much smaller, they go into the blood. They leave the gut and they go through the cell matrix, and they actually transport nutrients into the cells. And then again, here's that ginger root extract, which is very important for healing gut and also with detoxification. Sunflower lecithin, which is a fatty acid phospholipid. What is that there for? That essentially helps with the creation of new cells. So when you're building new cells rapidly, you realize that phospholipids are what make the cell membrane. It's the building blocks of new cells. And so if you run low on those, it's very hard to regenerate the small intestinal lining. And then last but not least, we've got these herbs right here, and these are all well known to be gentle in the digestive system, and they basically help with healing the gut as well as improving digestive ability, improving bowel motility and movement in a healthy way, and just an absolutely incredible group of things. So when you break it down, there is and again, this is from 18 years of experience, and I've looked through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of products over the years. There really is nothing like this in one product that I've ever found, and it works absolutely amazingly well. So this is part of my weekly regimen that I do personally. When people say, Dr. Alenov, what do you take to stay healthy and on top of things and ahead of the current health crisis? How do I stay well? I do it through taking my multi-nutrient formulas. I take my extra D to keep my D levels right perfectly between 50 and 100. My blood level, I now gargle with my ionized zinc once or twice a day, twice lately, because we're really getting into the heavy flu symptom or flu season right now, viral season, and respiratory illness issue, because it's cold up here. We live in the upper Midwest, and that stresses the body, stresses the immune system. And then about 2 to 3 times a week, I will take this. I'll take a serving of the Micro-Biome Builder. So this is not simply a product for just if you're having major gut issues. People say, well, I took a bottle of this and it helped heal my gut. Am I done using it now? I say, well, you can be, but this is something you can use as simply support or something for boosting and improving immune response. And that's why I take it. When you start to look at and understand gut health, especially in America, where we're, even people who eat well are still being exposed to things like glyphosate unknowingly in many of our foods, which is Roundup, which again is shown to demineralize the gut, destroy the microbiome, and cause leaky gut syndrome, which is why I think since about 2007, 8, something like that, we've really seen a dramatic increase in gut related issues, which led to an increase in autoimmune related issues. And that almost exactly mirrors the increase in the use of Roundup and glyphosate. So that's not just my opinion. I've read hundreds of articles, of course, backing that up. And so the long and short of it is you really do need to support your gut health, especially in the middle of winter. And this is not me pointing the finger at anybody. If anything, I point at myself as well, that we eat heavier foods. We eat, sometimes more carbohydrates or sugars or sweets or things in the winter because it's cold and we crave that energy. So it's very easy or easier to eat healthy when you have all the greens and salads and everything around in the summertime and it's hot and you're not craving heavy things. But in the wintertime, especially following the holidays now, this is where these next 2-3 months, it's vital that we keep our immune health tip top. Oh, okay. Deep breaths. I'm going to have to slow my speed down there when I go to my stress release therapy course, which I think will be coming out in a couple hours here. But I'm going to sign out. This was my daily health report number 4, part 1. And I really hope that this new idea of breaking these up into smaller parts is going to be helpful for you out there to take this information in smaller chunks. And of course, write in and ask me any questions you may have about what we've been talking about today. Thanks again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.